Howdy, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the BVLive.com podcast. I am Adam Drake, and we have got a great show for you here today. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. Brock DeWald hanging out with us. How are you, man?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, I mean, you know this area fairly well.
I have known this area.
Yeah.
I've been in Fort Worth for a season, but it's been home still. You know,
Fantastic.
We've got generational family ties and spend a lot of time down here watching what's going on and excited to be a part of what's going on these days.
Nice. Cannot wait to get into all of that, but let's go ahead and say hello to Jared Lane over there.
I was going to say, family's still here.
Family here. My in-laws.
So you don't need a hotel room.
Nope, and that's the best part of routing, man. It keeps it honest, and I get to be with them.
Well, that means we're bringing in Brock in for a show. That saves us a couple $100 for a hotel room next time around.
That's right.
Let's jump into it, because you do have generational ties here. You went to Bryan High. You went to A&M. What was your journey like musically growing up here?
Sure. So my journey, my folks tell me I had a microphone in my hand when I was 3. You know, I don't recall it, but that's where it started.
Grandma does.
Yeah, Grandma does. I got to cut my teeth and was encouraged and affirmed on the platform of churches primarily. I think a lot of young musicians get that freedom. You know, it's a fairly safe audience.
It's easy to learn.
It is.
You know, if you're up there doing, Go Rest High and you accidentally hit the wrong chord, they'll be forgiven. You know, you're still doing it for the Lord. So
Correct. So it started there.
Heard a few times.
Right, just a couple of times. Well, it's wild how when that switch flips, it really flips.
Yes.
And then you have no friends unless you get it right.
Yeah.
But it was inside churches, and did piano lessons when I was younger, but wanted to play ball more. And so put it on the shelf, played baseball and football through Bryan High, but a roommate of mine looked really cool, and I thought looked super cool to the ladies' eyes, so I picked the guitar up again, and he taught me how to play. And
sounds like Max Stone.
yeah, it does.
Was that high school, or
was that
in
high school?
Yeah.
I was in high school. I learned right across the street from Bryan High. Over there were his folks' home, and I'd go see him once a week after I got off work, and we'd learn some chords, and it started there. I didn't start songwriting till about 10 years ago. It was part of a journey of working through grief. We had a family, a chronic illness diagnosis in my family, and I was watching dreams die and trajectories change, and I was like, man, I gotta do something with this art form that I love, that I follow. You know, I was going to shows as therapy, and I was like, what if I try it myself? You know?
Well, and I think that's for a lot of us, just music fans. I can't play a lick of anything. Jared can't play a lick of anything. And I've said this before that
I can snap.
I can't even do that on
the tambourine.
But for me, listening to music is my therapy. You know, I put on a Radney Foster song or a record, and I'm just like bawling the entire time, and sad tears and happy tears on the very next song, and that's what music is. And I think, especially for an artist, for somebody who writes songs, that's got to be such an outlet to let stuff out.
It saved my life. I was in a pretty dark spot, and getting to process the unfixable, the things that I couldn't change, and move into a season of this I can do, and I can share my story. You know what? When I share my story in this way, every once in a while, people also resonate, and I kind of fell in love with that part.
So was this around high school?
No, this ended up
in college.
Right. No, this was much later. I was a full-time professional. We had 2 kids that were in grade school. You know,
so you got into this later.
I did. I've stayed in music the whole time. I've worked for churches and put together music programs there. But the songwriting, the portion of it that became what I could express that was raw, me, and that changed about 10 years ago. Yeah,
maybe that's something I should do. I need some sort of therapy.
Listen,
hammering and drilling and building walls in there is getting old.
I say there's an audience for everybody. One of my best friends, his name is Theo Carasino. I hope it's fine to give shout outs.
Yeah, those shout outs. We're
Theo cut his first record at 73.
Nice.
And he's just a poet.
So I have some hope.
Well, that's like Mance Lipscomb from Navasota, blues legend, and that was he got into that much later. He didn't start when he was 20 years old. I think he was in his 40s or 50s when he cut his first record. But you have that outlet somehow,
sure.
And whether it gets picked up or not, whether you end up becoming a legend at 50 or not, it helps you, and that's the important part.
And that's really where I live. Is I think if I'm writing, if I'm ever trying to write songs that aren't what I'm living. It feels inauthentic. I just it's an outlet for me to relate to people. I'm a storyteller at heart, and happen to also do it through music, and the way that it resonates with people. That's what keeps me traveling town to town.
Yeah.
When I get off the stage, I tell people all the time, I've kind of got two rules that follow me around. One, if you're there tonight, we're friends. We're all going to be friends. And two, I'd love to hear your story, because it's what. It's what I love.
Well, and as a storyteller, you don't know where that story is going to lead you to write something else.
Amen to that.
That maybe you felt something similar, or maybe it's a feeling that you've never felt before, but you want to dive into it. That there are a lot of people who haven't experienced loss in the way that I have, and to talk to somebody and they're like, "Oh, that's so interesting. Tell me all about that." I'm like, "Well, let me tell you my pain." And for them to be able to take that and maybe write a song about it, I would love to do that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Start journaling.
I know you're a fan of Drew Kennedy, but Drew has said before, he's like, I don't always have to walk through it. I can be a friend to somebody who's walking through it.
Yeah.
And then I can share that art too.
Well, and Keller Cox said that recently too, where, his wife is his muse. He's got a very happy relationship, loving relationship, been with her for 4 years. And so he writes love songs. He writes songs about her, but he had friends who went through a divorce, and he was able to put himself in their position a little bit because he was listening to them. He was trying to be there for them as a friend. And he's like, I wrote a great song from it, and it's coming out soon. I don't know what we can say about it quite yet legally, but it's gonna be fantastic. He played it the other night, and he's got some guests. Yeah, he did. He played it at Lake Walk, and it was really great.
Oh, sweet.
But he's got some guests vocalists who are going to be on it. And he's like, it's going to blow you away. Like, this is going to be the biggest thing that I've ever done. And I'm really excited for that. But
and that's cool to hear from an artist too. Gosh, if we ever stop having fun, people can tell, man. You can tell. So that's cool. That's awesome. Excited for him.
And the thing about having fun is it's still a job, right?
Of course.
And so how much of that are you able to walk that line of, all right, this is fun, but I do have to make a little bit of money, and I do have to have my wife not scream at me tonight.
I cheated the game a little bit. I still have my full-time job that pays the bills. So I get to keep it in its lane of
my wife would love that.
An outlet. It's my outlet. My wife and I, our getaway, our reset is our music festivals. It's live music. It's the reason we fell in love with songwriters, and so for us, it's kind of date night. She can come and drink on my comp tab that the venue's already paying anyway, and I sing songs. And
what's your wife's drink when she goes?
That's a good question. She's a margarita fan about all shapes and sizes. She will do
frozen rocks.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, red wine. She's gonna kill me.
Yeah,
we have to limit. We have to
keep digging that hole.
Yeah, we have to limit the mosaics from Community Beer Company.
Okay.
For whatever reason, in the mix of things, she enjoys it, but we cap that one off.
Is that where's Mosaics? I don't know this.
So the Mosaic is an IPA that Community Beer Company out of Dallas.
You lost me an IPA.
I do that to a lot of people. They also have a Texas Lager. Are you back in?
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm good there.
Dude, I'll tell you what, that Texas Lager. So Community Beer is in Dallas. They're one of my partners. I've got I got a show that I do there with them that just kicked off too. this season, and
He's taking that plugs in.
Yeah, listen,
full disclosure, I like
man,
as long as you throw them a shout and then they go like, oh man, I really liked you on that podcast, I'd like to give them and partner with them. That's the key.
So the big thing, my wife and I, to raise money to research, fundraising to research and curing this chronic illness, multiple sclerosis.
Yep.
We put a benefit concert together years ago. That's
awesome.
actually what got me started in this thing.
I love that.
I was not dreaming this direction, and my wife knew it before I did, and she said, hey, I put a benefit concert together, and I was like, that's awesome. I love that that's part of us, music festivals, all these things. And she said, yeah, I booked your band. And I said, I don't have a band.
Well,
You better find one.
you'll get one.
And that's exactly what she said. You have until September. But when she started looking for sponsors, Community Beer is a big sponsor of the National MS Society up there at DFW. And so that's how we started partnering with them. That's why I follow them. I do love to plug them. They sponsored our alcohol stuff at one of our benefit concerts, and one of their ice chests full of Texas lager got left under a table.
Oh,
and,
man.
And not sold. And I went home with a fridge full of Texas lager.
Ooh,
I cannot drink any other Texas lager of any kind.
Well, here's the thing. Next time you come to town
You
from
broke
there,
me.
I need to try one.
Right. Well, I will bring it down. You
when-
guys will be my first
We
stop.
have the cooler out there.
Yeah, we
Just
do.
Fill it in.
That's great.
When I was at the Chicken, everybody would bring beer and bring liquors and stuff to taste, and everybody would always turn to me like, "All right, you're up." Like nobody else wanted to drink at 10 in the morning, and I'm like, "I guess if I got to, let me try this out." And
I'm not the 10 o'clock guy either.
I would give you're not drinking you're not getting hammered. You're trying it. You're tasting it. It's a tasting. And the only one that I would be like, oh no, was tequila. Just because tequila and I don't get along anymore, thanks to Tracy Bird. 10 rounds of Jose Cuervo. Whew, man. And then the IPAs. The IPAs, I just can never. The only one I liked, the only one that I've ever truly enjoyed, and it might just be my nostalgia for Stone Cold Steve Austin, but he came out with his Stone Cold IPA, and I was like, this ain't bad.
If it's good enough for Stone Cold,
that's my thoughts on it too.
That's not going to sell me. Sorry.
You were talking about going to music festivals
Sure.
and everything.
Yeah.
We're huge fans of music festivals here. What are
Absolutely.
some of your favorites? Let's throw them out there. I
Yeah,
love it.
man.
I was about to go there myself.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. So for us, my wife and I live by a principle: you always go and see the opener.
Sure.
Absolutely.
You guys seem like those guys. We have found some of our very favorites from going to the festivals and catching the guys at noon,
Yep.
and then hanging around for the headliners. And so for us, big ones that used to be on our calendar, we were big. Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors, Americana band out of Nashville. Drew Holcomb put together a festival called Moon River back in the day, and we went a number of years. My wife, when she was diagnosed, we immediately said,
Oh wait, I think we lost that. Wait, so wife
Yeah,
has
it's my
MS?
wife. Oh,
Is that
I didn't
okay?
mention that.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
all
you
right.
talked
Full
about okay.
it was my wife's diagnosis of MS.
Okay.
So the very first thing, we look at our calendar, we figure out heat is awful for her body. And
My sister's got MS. So
Okay.
she's like, I'm moving to Washington State. And
we immediately marked on our calendar, we had a festival. It was Drew's Moon River, and it was in Memphis in August.
Oh.
And she looked at me and she said, from here forth, these trips are going to be called the FUMS trips. And so we started doing the FUMS trips. And
That's awesome.
And so we did Moon River a couple of years. And then we found Sean McConnell through Drew Holcomb.
Oh man,
Love
he's
Sean.
amazing.
Yeah, no doubt. It changed what I thought songwriter song swaps could be. I watched him and Lori McKenna on the same night.
What a terrible night of terrible songs.
That-
not a not a greatly written song in the
Face
whole
all
night.
puffy.
Oh,
Did
my
you cry the whole night?
Dude, it was brutal. But something in me kind of came alive at that that show. But following Sean around, that's how I came across Drew Kennedy. Sean was playing at Green Hall a couple of nights in a row for our FUMS trip. We went to both nights and found Drew Kennedy.
She's a champ, by the way. I got to give a round of applause to your wife
fierce.
on that, man.
She's
That's amazing.
It's why when she said it's time for you to get a band, I said yes.
Yes, ma'am.
No problem. But now it's Drew's Marathon Songwriter Festival.
Yeah.
Our anniversary is August the 2nd, and his festival is always that second weekend. So we lump it all together.
And happy anniversary then, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
How long? How long is it?
So we
How
got
many
married
years?
in 03, and it'll be 23 years this year.
I like that. I like to compare because I feel I've been married since 05.
Okay.
And that's a long time. And so I always like to see, and I was like, man, you got married after I did.
Put up with you that long?
Yeah,
that's
man.
usually what I get.
Yeah.
She loves me. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's the definitive
That's the
metric.
trick.
Drew Kennedy is absolutely amazing. He's one of my favorite human beings on the planet.
I agree.
And when I was going through your stuff today, I didn't realize that y'all wrote the hat.
Well, let's make sure we're clear. I didn't write it, but there's a story behind that.
Okay. Or let me rewind.
Yep.
Both of you sang the hat and have released it.
Yes. And so in 22, when he put it out on the album Marathon, fell in love with it. My normal show hat is a felt beat up Western Stetson Silver Belly Open Road. And when that line came across, the stream, I immediately sat up. I was like, "That's my show hat, man! What this is a cosmos moment, cosmic alignment." And his festival really has changed my life. In 2019 was our first year to go. Bobby Hamrick, who is the third Topo Chico Cowboy, the unnamed, the featured. He's written West Texas Cloud Appreciation with them. He's written Boots on My Feet.
My daughter's second favorite song.
Okay,
she loves Boots on My Feet.
Yeah, it's good. Anything he touches, he's a genius. You'll hear it from Josh Grider and Drew. He's a genius. We sat down at a table, my wife and I, at the 2019 festival, and a dude came and sat with us with his beer, and we talked music and we talked just life. And he said, "Hang on a minute, I'll be right back." And he got up and walked around the other side of the stage and played a set. And I looked at my wife and I said, "That was Bobby Hamrick the whole time." We didn't know, we hadn't met him, but we listened on the way down there to his content. He gets off the stage, puts his guitar away, plays a killer set. He's incredible if you haven't seen him. Walks back to that seat and sits down and watches Walt Wilkins take the stage. And so we watched Walt together. And when we finished, he said, "Man, if you ever want to work on some music, here's my cell phone." And
that's amazing.
I just put it in my phone. I wasn't in a place. I had two whole songs written in 2019, so I was, just killing it. But
gotta start somewhere.
Hold on. 2 whole songs. Were they 2 whole good songs, or just?
How about this? I still play them.
Okay,
I don't know how good they are. But I still
look,
play
that's
them.
better than some people's first 2 songs, right?
I think I got to leapfrog a little of it, just really being a student of the Guy Clarks and the Waltz and the Drew Kennedys.
Yeah.
Kind of measuring up to the songs I love to listen to is mine in that space. I've been a writer my whole life too. Loved to creative write. And so I think if it met my standard, it was passable when it came out. And so I didn't feel like I had to write, as John Bauman would say, 200 bad ones before a good one came along.
He's who came to mind when I said that.
I love that dude. I love Bauman. But anyway, so Bobby, I held on to his cell phone when Drew cut the hat. Bobby and Drew wrote it together, so that's co-write for them. And I started covering it. I was at a house concert in Briar Oaks, which is just south of Burleson, Texas, where I live now, at my friend James Mills' house. And James Mills is the coolest cat. He's Texas music royalty as far as I'm concerned. He's emceed Newell Fest and Tommy Alderson's family gatherings, and he's the stage manager guy. He loves music. He loves us. And So he said, man, I want you to come out and I want you to play with Walt Wilkins. And I said, I'm honored. I'm grateful.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
You are pulling my,
Yeah.
you're twisting my arm.
What did we say earlier? Walt? Who? Walt?
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about Walt.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know, Walt Wilkins is a tremendous songwriter. And he is, again, a lot like Drew, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in your entire life. And just like that, very unassuming. Like he walks into a place and he's shorter than you'd think he'd be.
Well, he's just like everybody's best friend. It doesn't matter.
And he's just having a great
nicest
time
guy
wherever
ever.
he goes.
And I was telling somebody earlier today, everybody says Walt's my friend, and that's a special kind of human.
Yeah. Nobody tells me that. They're like, most people are like, I'm kind
Nobody-
of scared of that guy.
Here's this
wants to
guy I
tell
know.
me
His name is Jared. You know.
You're like, who is that guy? You're much bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
So Walt's a hero. I mean, he's a legend to me. If I were to say, I would love to write songs that make me feel like some other songwriters make me feel.
Yeah.
It's Walt and Jason Isbell. That's my two. And they're kind of they're different in their space.
yeah,
There's a lot
yeah.
of darkness
But I
and hope.
Well, I just think there's a lot of similarities that most people just don't
And there
know.
are.
They're
Yeah.
underlying,
If you
right?
If you
But-
draw that Venn diagram, that
you put
space in
you
the
put
middle.
picture to picture, like
Yeah.
no one's gonna understand that. But no, I think as
Okay, well you get it.
soulful like songwriting, like you're like the words that they're using, and it's the same thing for Drew. I think as I'm just like I don't even know how you put these words together, and it comes out to be a song because I just listened to one at the River Jam, in New Braunfels, and he filled in for Mason Lively, and I'm like, I don't think I've heard this song, and my wife's sitting there, and she's like, what did you just sing? And then you have to think about it a little bit, but then
Yeah.
it all makes sense, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's
I mean,
annoying that you can put that together and it makes sense and it still has some melody to it and it still works. And that's to
Okay,
me-
well you called it because many days I'm sitting there writing a song and it's annoying that those guys, I'm sure, they're masters of the craft, but I'm like, man, this doesn't sound. I'd love for it to sound like that.
Yeah. My favorite thing though about Drew, taking this away from Walt though, is like going back on him is his everybody thinks he's this Texas guy and I'm like, no. He's from Philadelphia.
Right.
You're like,
Well,
what? I'm like, how did you hear? I mean, he's such an unassuming, super nice guy and is willing to. There was a young kid there, Ian Kuseric. If you hadn't heard that kid, he's young, up and coming. Another little wordsmith guy that I told Drew is like, I think you should work with this kid, and he's like, well, let's meet him.
Yeah.
Like, send him my way, and I'm like, I told that kid, and he's just like, you did what? You're okay doing it? I'm like, dude, I do not care. I was like, I got no dog in this fight.
Well-
I think you're talented, and I think that guy's probably one of the best, most talented writers. You guys should work together, and I think
100%.
you'd probably appreciate it. So good luck.
Well, and it's
Here's the
folks,
number.
It's folks that will make that connection, that care about the music that much, that know the catalogs like that. For me, Walt and Jason, they put stuff together that some days feels like a warm blanket. Some days truly challenges me to get my stuff together.
And that's how I feel about Josh and Drew together at the same time, because they're both amazing songwriters, but they're completely different types of songwriters.
Oh, yeah.
Where Josh uses a lot of everyday visuals, things that you're like, okay, I get that. It's very, I say surface, and that might sound bad, but it's very surface and you understand it. Drew's digs a little bit deeper, and you do have to do that second listen, like, oh my God, that didn't hurt right the first time. Let me listen to that again and see what he was
When
really
they can write
saying.
a song about clouds,
Yeah.
and it's great.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
who's writes songs
And,
about clouds?
I mean, Bobby Hamrick had his hand on that one
It
too.
was pretty
But-
phenomenal.
But Josh, so I love that. I've gotten to work a lot with Josh. Josh, actually, he recorded my vocals on my last 5 singles before the live record, which has started coming out. Josh, I went to because Bobby and I started working together. Eventually, the rest of that story, he did start producing my music. And so I would send him over demos, and he would cut every instrument. Again, he's a music genius. He'd cut his stuff in Nashville. He just said, man, this will be cheaper than calling in studio guys. And I think the vibe you're going for, I can cut acoustic instruments. He'd send it back to me with all the right charting. And he'd say, okay, take this to Josh's studio because they're homies, and cut your vocals down there. I trust Josh to get it right, and so Josh and I, we're probably more alike in personality. He knew how to talk to me when I was behind the microphone to get the right kind of expression. My first EP was lacking some of that depth, and Josh, just being a phenomenal vocalist, trained in so many ways. It's hard, his background is in vocal training.
We say it all the time. I don't know how he just didn't go absolutely stratospheric in his voice.
Isn't that true?
I could do an entire 3 hours of my love of Josh Grider.
Okay.
We'll
have to do that maybe on camera or off camera.
I want to do it with him here that he's just going to be so annoyed by.
He would be.
I'd be like doing that Chris Farley sketch, like, hey, Paul McCartney, you remember that time you were in the Beatles? That was awesome. That would be me with Josh, because again, he
would be so annoyed.
Really is just such a great person.
So his last
vocalist,
his last album, I've been through. If it was a CD, it'd be worn out.
Yeah.
The Josh Grider, the Long Way from Las Cruces, was there's a run of 3 songs in a row that maybe if I went to my deserted island, those would be the 3 I would take. Life's a Party, into Life's a Party. Can we do that? Can we sing without?
Sure.
But the
not too long.
What is it? 5 seconds?
Can You Feel Me Missing You? Which again, he just cut the duet version of that with his wife, Christy.
Yeah, so good.
Which is killer. And then that third one, which had it been in 1998, he'd be a million bajillionaire. Yeah. Two truths and a lie. Yeah. That's the song.
And I love the acoustic version of that he did years prior to that, man. I mean, again. This could be a Josh Grider fan show. We'll bring Brad Beeler in on that too, because he's just as big of a Grider fanboy as I am. Let's go back to Walt real quick though, because by the time this airs, the show will be done.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the show that you've got coming up and what that show really means and what we're looking at for the future of that.
Yeah, man. So to finish that story real quick, of the hat and the reason I got to sing it, Walt ended up taking a video that night. He texted it to Drew. He told me, he's like, man, it's just fun when people sing your songs. So I sent it to Drew. Unbeknownst to me, he actually sent it to all the Red River folks. So Josh got it too. Susan Gibson got it, who's the best. And Kelly McQueen got it, which is just embarrassing, kind of like
just so much talent. I had to listen to that.
And at first you're just thinking about, well, they're just laughing at me.
Correct.
Like they're not doing anything else.
Some of the nicest people in music.
Nicest people. So I saw Drew a couple of months later. I was up in Fort Worth at the Omni Hotel. I was playing the lobby meet and greet to the show. He was actually playing inside. I call that opening.
Listen, technically,
we're gonna mark that.
Were you
one
on
down.
the bill?
Yeah,
I was in small print in the lobby, but he came out.
Easel.
He came out to see us. We had him come to the benefit concert we talked about. He actually headlined one of the years, so we're friends, and he loves my wife. And anyway, so we were chatting in the lobby.
Sounds like everybody should love your wife. She sounds like a badass.
And
putting it all together.
That's a quote.
Awesome.
That's a quote. The top talent buyer guy in Fort Worth that has been just super kind to me. He sat at the bar one night and he looked at me and he said, I mean, you're just another guy with a guitar, but your wife's a badass because she's my manager. The rest of the story there is she's booked me for years until about now, and now I'm kind of taking more of those reins and doing other things. But
I got one of those. I don't get to do anything without her, so I get it.
But that was the quote. That was the quote. But anyway, so with Drew, he told me that night. He said, "You should put the hat on your record. I saw this video," and I said, "Man, I'm so grateful. I've got a full record already with Bobby Hamrick, and I think we're going to do those songs. But man, I will think about it. Thank you so much." And I went down to see Josh and cut my vocals, and he said, "Man, I don't see the hat in your list. Drew was telling me that you do a version of it." And I said, "Oh, I do. I'm sorry for the miscommunication." And he said, "No, I just want to mess with Drew that his song didn't make your cut." I was like, "Yeah, please don't do that." But anyway, coming around to finishing songs with Bobby, he said, "Hey, man, you should put the hat on your record." And I said, "Bobby, you wrote it and you would be producing it. How would you change it? What would you do?" He said, "Well, happens to be I have an unreleased version, instrumental version. Nobody's bought up yet. I can pull it off the market. I can get it to you if you like it. And fell in love with it. That's the version that's out now. And so we put that one out. And yeah, if you were checking my streams, you know that it has streamed just 4 or 5 times more than any of my other tunes.
Really?
I don't know what I'm supposed to be learning about that particularly, but
it's a good song.
That's what it means to me. Is 1, it's a great song. 2, those are the guys that affirmed and fortified me along the way that didn't have to. And that's
it sounds like you fell into a great group of friends in that music side of it that you never expected to.
It's been, I'm so grateful. They're such good people, and good people drawn to good music. And the more that I do this thing and travel around, the smaller the world gets.
I'm learning that more than he is because he's worked in the music industry as long as he did,
in
the radio side of it, from that side of it. But me on this side of it, and mine really just, like I told you earlier, fell into it from going to Steamboat once, and then kind of fell in love with live music again at 40-something years old.
Yeah.
Because I went and watched Hamrick Aquarium in a small room, and I was like,
they'll change it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, and my traditional side of it was not a whole lot of traditional Texas country music stuff. I mean, I love music for what it is, but mine was just, it's always a feeling. Like if I don't feel it in the room, I'm kind of bored with it. And I'm a quick clicker. It's like, I'm going to click over to the next thing. Click over to this. But that was like
it's the ADD.
It's no doubt. It's ADHD. It's not even ADD. It's like it's beyond that. But at the same time, what I learned in that little circle, because I don't care. Like I said, for Ian, I just asked a question. I was like, I'll go meet anybody. I don't care. I'm an old school salesperson. So, but in Steamboat, I just walked. In the back and started talking to people. And they're like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "No one's gonna stop me." No, I'm just like,
he's 6'5", like he's a security guy.
That. I'm just gonna shake someone's hand, and they're like, if you treat them like people, they don't. They just want to be treated the same way everybody else is. Be
because
respectful. We talk about. He doesn't want to be bragged about.
No,
and that's my favorite part about him, though. No. I will brag about him to anybody and everybody that will listen, and he's like, "Shut up!" I'm like, "No, I believe in you this much, and I have for 20 years." Yeah. Lindsay's not going to have great hair for long because it's going to get cut off soon. Shut up. No, but all of that. So the hat all comes back, circles back to Walt being the person who made us all happen.
So that started our journey together. There's a great fella in Granbury, Texas. His name was James Brock. So his last name, my first name, aligned. I wanted to play his venue, Brock's Food and Drink, and put something funny out, marketing Brock at Brock's. But he and Walt were best buddies. James passed from lung cancer a couple years ago. Same year as TA, and there's a lot of loss in that space for us at that time. But James took it upon himself to make sure that if Walt was going to be there, he called me and told me to bring my guitar. And I'm sure it was irritating at the beginning, but Walt was always so kind. Tommy Alderson too, to let me take the stage with him, and so we just struck up conversation and relationships. Turns out a lot of his Fort Worth people are my people too. We didn't know it, and doing life, but a couple of marathon songwriter festivals where we got to chill at the pool and chat just experiences and family, and ended up resonating in a lot of ways. So when it came time to want to participate with what's clearly growing and clearly deep roots, deep history in Bryan, Texas, in the arts and music, and obviously growing. What you guys are doing is absolutely part of that. I said, man, I'd love to bring a show, and if there's one dude that I know absolutely will do a wonderful thing for a first-time songwriter session with me, first-time opportunity at the Kimball, it's Walt. And so I reached out to him, and within 30 minutes we had a show, so it was fun.
And he's one of those guys that, again, like we talked about, it's everybody's best friend. He's so humble about everything that he does, but so great. Like my first experience with Walt Wilkins is pretty much every Texas Red Dirt fan of our age hearing him name dropped in a Pat Green song.
Absolutely.
And you're like, wait, what? And then
mine too.
I deep dove, much like I did with Garth Brooks with a worn out tape of Chris Ledoux. What is that? Who's that? And do that deep dive. You're like, oh my God, these guys are singing about people who in certain aspects are better than they are and things. And Walt, man, you listen to The Trains I Missed and Poetry, and I mean, you just go on and on.
Someone Somewhere Tonight.
Yeah.
Every time. One of his that I flies under the radar, but it is a staple in who I am and where I'm going, is The Songs I've Sung.
Oh, man.
What's going to happen to all these songs, but
you know what kills me about Walt? It's like, just not even stuff that he's singing. It's how many co-writes is he on? Like, he's all over the place.
Everywhere.
Like, you start pulling up his, discography or whatever they do. I'm like, he's all over everything.
Ricky Skaggs and
and I'm just like,
How Ketchum.
Wow. So Walt's coming in again. By the time this airs, it'll be done. But what made you want to come and do this? And it's called
Hometown Sessions. For me, it's a full circle moment. So I came down to I saw the big barn dance was coming to town. Michael Hearn's camp, and I came down for a songwriter competition to earn a stage slot to play a few tunes at the big barn dance. Ended up, I tell all my family, I tell my children, it's okay if they take two winners to be third. If they take one winner, you can be second. I use all that stuff. I use it. I'm grateful to be a part of it because I get introduced to some great people, and I wanted to meet Michael Hearn, and I wanted to meet the crew that travels with him. But that night, I ended up meeting Destination Bryan folks. I ended up meeting Lake Walk people, and Kyle Hutton was MC of the whole event, and I followed Real Life, Real Music forever. So it was just a neat time to connect, and actually ended up getting a couple of cell phone numbers and having folks listen. I think more between the lines. I think they were fine with my art form. I think they were hearing kind of where I was coming from and why I do what I do in the stories in between. And so they reached out and they said, hey, what do you understand? There's some formative season of music blossoming again. Downtown Bryan's kind of a hub, obviously, right where we are. Sorry. And they said, what would you be interested in helping to put some things together? I said, guys, what I know is Fort Worth. That's where I've been since I graduated A&M, finished grad school up there, and stayed and did family stuff up there. I said, that's what I know, but I've seen it be a community, a real community of musicians. There's not a lot of competition. It's not real cutthroat. People do look out for one another. There's from the videographers to the studio owners to the road guys to just print shops, merch shops. They generally do a good job of being in this thing together. And I said, if the infrastructure's kind of there and it could be a part of my next season, I'd love to go be a part of it.
Yeah.
So that's how it kind of all began. I started having conversations, and Destination Bryan was really kind to connect me with folks. And actually, I think one of the days I was down here, we just barely missed y'all. But we're here now, which is good.
That's all right.
But that's how it got started.
And it's true. And that's why we started this. We initially started out because there's no comprehensive concert calendar, right? You go to website X and saying, well, who's playing? Is there anything going on in town?
For sure.
And I'll give it up to both of the cities of College Station and Bryan. They both have a lot of great things on there, but they're promoting their cities. They're not promoting the entire area.
Sure.
And that's fine. That's what they should be doing. But if you're coming in from Alabama, you're going to be coming here for a football game. You don't know to go to visit collegestation.com or destinationbryan.com or the tapbcs.com.
Right.
You don't know where to go. And so we said, well, let's put it out there for everybody. And then with that, we saw this need because I moved here in 2007. And I knew how great this town was for music. You'd have a show at Harry's, you'd have a show at the Hall on the same night, and you'd have 1,000+ people in both venues fighting it out over who was going to have the better night. And it was just an amazing time, and we've lost that.
Sure.
I don't want to say a little bit. We've lost that quite a bit.
Right.
And
2 spots that aren't.
Well, and that was kind of really the catalyst that kicked this off. Was like, for me, coming back from some of those festivals and knowing the history of here, and then started talking to more people, and then also was Harry's closing. And I'd been going back and forth from Harry's. I was here in high school when it opened. And
he was going to his teen nights, I guess.
I was. I was more going to Hall for teen nights on Thursdays.
No, we'd go dancing out there. But for sure.
You know, so I've seen that full circle in some sense. Not maybe to the artist side of things that got to grow up here that I've talked to, but like Brendan Anthony's a class behind me at Consol that I went to high school.
Oh, yeah.
And so Brendan and I are friends, and he's kind of pseudo on our board. I don't even mind saying that. He's just like, yeah, I'll do it as an ancillary. It's like,
that's awesome.
He's like, love to support everything y'all are doing there. That's great. We just need as much as we can. But you know, he's very, very busy doing what he's doing. But it's nice to be able to make that phone call and say, hey, when you're in town, let's catch up and see what we can do together and help out and all the stuff he's done. But listening to some of his podcast stuff and saying, where do we help people? But, you know, with Harry's and all that, it's like the other part of it was the last probably 5-10 years of how many just phenomenal like acts have come through here that were here, were trying to do things and couldn't do anything and didn't have a place to go, and no one gave them a voice. No one was giving them a home.
For sure.
And that's kind of where we're trying to step in a little bit. And it's kind of, this thing, BB Live, is ever evolving. So what we need is more people to, like, you know, put in and help us basically steer this ship.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't it have to be? I mean, you just mentioned the way music in BCS has evolved. And so, you know, the fact that you're willing to roll with it and learn it and evolve with it, I think you have to. That's really this whole thing. It's going to be changing and ongoing, and you're going to find your epicenters move and travel, but it never goes away. And that's the part that I'm so thrilled to be back and engaged with where I grew up and what I saw through the 90s. It didn't vanish from Bryan or from College Station. People just had to find outlets in other spaces.
Yeah.
And having a home base where they can have outlets in their backyard is so valuable.
Well, and there's going to be, you're going to find a way to do it, right? Like whether you're a singer just looking for a place to go, okay, well, we can't go to Zapato's anymore. It closed down.
Right.
What are we going to do? Well, you're going to find that next place because you have that outlet. You have to get it out of you one way or the other, or you're going to move off. And some people don't have that opportunity. So where do you do that here? And there's always different places. New Republic Brewery was one that a couple of people have mentioned, and now it's gone. So where are you going to go now? Oh, well, here's Calvary Court. Now here are all these different places to go and do that. But your journey to this was, as you talked about, is a little bit different. You weren't here in college or in high school,
No.
hitting the road and trying to figure it all out.
No, I wasn't.
So what advice would you give to people who are here right now? Maybe in your position,
Sure.
when you were graduating in 2002 from Bryan High, like what are you telling them to go do if they want to pursue this dream of music?
Okay.
Go to bblive.com.
Yeah, go to bblive.com.
Yeah. So, what has really been the backbone of I think you mentioned it. It was intentional engagement with artists, learning how they do what they do, and honing my craft, even if it wasn't necessarily, I was putting in miles and show hours on the stage. I was watching those guys do something spectacular, and asking myself, why do they do that? What am I learning from the master class of the guys that I love when they go and they perform? So the kinds of songs they write, why do they write them? That opened up doors for me to find relationships, but the backbone is relationships. It's all relationships. your talent level can be unremarkable, and if there's an audience for you, if you build relationships with your audience and with people that want to hear your art form, your talent level can be exceptionally good, off the chart. And you can be an ass, and nobody likes you.
No, we've ran into this here locally on some levels, like where, and it's also that goes for the venue runners, like where you're like you gotta play nice everywhere at some level and be respectful to be able to get into that room or not and use a network. And I talk about it with any young artist. I'm like, who's your network? Because perfect example that I talk about a lot is when we did start this, I found that Dalton Domino was living here in town, and Dalton might be one of the best like networking artists I've ever met.
Phenomenal,
and it's and he does it in such a like covert, quiet way because you can't get a hold of the damn guy if you want to. But when you talk to him, he acts like we talked yesterday and we're in church together, and he's a super nice guy, but getting a hold of him is hard, and he's busy. And what he's done with Shelby and what they're doing right now is, he tried doing the management thing and having the group, and that's part of that 10-year span that, those 5-10 years, he had all those artists here. He knew the talent that was here. Yeah. And the venues missed it. Yeah. They had some of it. John Whittington did a really good job at the Tap on some of it, but you got Jordan Hicks here in your back pocket. Parker Ryan, Randy Hoyt, that's still around here all the time. I mean, those guys are all here for the last 5 to 10 years, just young. Hayden Baker was running through here, and and Dylan Gossett, Juliana Rankin, all these names that are just popping up and about to blow up. Yeah. And you're just like, how are they not consistently having a home there? And that's part of what we want to do is with the, songwriters nights and that we're about to kick off and do some things like that where, and I tell them it's networking, it's a community. I'm an old sales guy. It's all about knowing who you need to know, where, what. And so people call me all the time, hey, where do you go over there? And I'm like, my wife kills me all the time. She's like, I wish you'd get paid for all the advice you give to go tell somebody to go somewhere. And I'm like, she goes, you'd be a multi-millionaire. I'm like, yeah, we're broke.
You know what else?
So I'm broke.
Right. What else I see as well is really having a music ecosystem and infrastructure where everybody's welcome. Kind of, that's the end of the sentence. Everybody's welcome. Yeah. Your opportunities for open mics for anybody that is sharing that song they wrote in their bedroom, and they don't need to get on the road. They're not worried about the gigs. They're just, that's an art form to them, as well as the folks that need to try out that brand new song before they go play it at whatever show.
You're bringing up a perfect thing that I was wanting to lead into, and I'm glad you did this. But so you talk about open mics. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of open mics. There's even a lot of open mics here.
Well, and when I say it, I mean
and I get that, and that's kind of what I'm going to let Adam kind of spin off of what we're about to do here, just for our own plug, if you don't mind.
No, love it.
But for us, it was like I do think there's a big difference in a songwriters night and an open mic, and I think it's like where you do get to where you're in a comfortable situation, you're in a comfortable room with the like-minded people doing the exact same things. And I'm not that artist. I don't have anything written down, but I understand where I was a former athlete, where I can go talk baseball with the baseball coach and understand what they're looking at and seeing and all that, and a whole different mindset than most dads when I was trying to get my son recruited. I knew what not to say and what to say, where you can put your foot in your mouth, which is half the problem. But same thing here for an artist, when you're like, hey, I want to go and basically sing my soul out there, and I'm so scared to do that because it's hard enough writing it, much less sitting there singing it and people going, well, what was that? And you're like, because they're scared that someone's going to respond to that. But if you do that at an open mic, you might get that. But if you it's kind of like standing up in the front of the room at the pep rally. You just feel like you're naked, and
you're 100% right. The open mic, I would kind of stay away from the songwriter nights. It's sacred, safe space. Yep. It's a space where gigging musicians get to see each other that one time a month because we're all working at the same time. It's also the place. Courtney Patton told me, if you don't know if a song is good until you get a chance to play it 3 times live, and you evaluate those 3 times, and if it's still not good, it may need some work.
That third time you're doing it, and people are going, all right,
that's the
not
space
there.
for it. You get to try it.
Well,
you know,
and what we try to tell people here is that obviously country is going to dominate this market. It's just what it is. But I keep telling everybody that they need to come either way. Whether you like country music or not,
you write a rock song.
You need to come and you need to be a part of the community of songwriting, and then also that shows other let's say hip hop groups, right?
Correct.
If they come in and they feel comfortable with all these other people who were just writing songs and talking about songs, and it might make somebody else more comfortable. It might, and that's how the community grows from there, to show that we're not here for one or the other. We're here for everybody together as a community of songwriters and performers, and to push music in this in our community like it's never been pushed before.
And I love that, because I watched. There's a clip that came on probably about a month ago that I was sitting there watching on TV, and it was Jack White getting interviewed. And he's sitting there. I think he was on Dateline or CBS, something 2020 and whatever. But some big name CBS person's interviewing him. He's like, blues is blues. Man, he's blues is what it was all. He's like, that turned into this, and that turned into that, and it turned into. He's like, he's like Johnny Cash came from this, and that came to, and he just went down the lineage of history. And I'm like, this is Jack White, and I'm like, you listen to his music, and I'm like, he's so right. And he goes, it doesn't matter. It's 3 chords. I was like, and it just hit me that's really what these songwriters are still sitting there. They squabble about, I got to do hip hop. And it's like, that's fine, but you still got to write the damn words down at some point, at some level, that you're going to put something on paper that turns into a melodic story that you have to get out there. And I don't care, in our community here, I want to invite anybody. Yeah. We do this thing called Art Step, and we put an acoustical performance inside some of these spaces in downtown Bryan to tie into some programming for other artists that are doing the same thing, just to liven it up and give another reason for people to go and showcase what they're doing. But in that, it's like, I don't care what you play. If you want to come play it, we had a reggae band playing, and I loved them. Great little group, a 3-piece band that plays, and they're awesome.
Crucial Roots, by the way, for anybody who's checking them out, go find them. They're a lot of fun. Crucial Roots with a K.
And they're the sweetest guys. They're local hometown guys, Bryan High guys. And I was like, you guys play reggae? And I'm like, y'all are in. Like, I just want to hear something else different. Roll. And I was like, this is phenomenal that we have this here, and we're lucky to have it. I think every venue in our town should be booking them. Do it. Like, do something different. And
that's something that Peril Sweet and I talked about too, where a lot of people don't want to take that chance. But I think that you've got to have a way to say,
you better
all right, we're going to do this. But I think where a lot of these places fail is they don't promote it the right way. They're not pushing it. And again, that to me, that's where the community part of it comes in, where, if you're the country act who normally plays Calvary Court, and they've got the Crucial Roots going, and people are like, I don't know. No, you got to go. These guys are awesome. And you develop that network of everybody.
The weird thing around the university has just created such a melting pot of humanity anyways.
Absolutely.
And I said this and I was like, I don't know how to put this show on. I don't know that I could. It's not, and I'm not that person, because I don't think it's live music in a sense, but somebody doesn't do a Bollywood night around here sometime soon, because of engineering people, you would make a ton of money that if you just put on the show and just rocked it out. And I think you'd be amazed to include that corner of the melting pot here that doesn't get to do anything. They struggle.
Let's move on. We're going to wrap up here soon.
Sorry.
I think we've both been on a little tangent on that.
Hey, it's loud.
So what's coming up next for you?
Okay,
you got a lot of things going on.
Sure.
Is this Hometown Sessions going to be a recurring thing? Can we expect to see more of these?
It will. It's going to be once a month. We are going to we're gonna jump over October. There's the Bryan Texas Songwriter Festival. Want want to be
what? You don't
no
compete with
competition there. And
I think you're going to be here for that, right?
Love Kyle. I'll be around for that. Yeah, that'll be fun. Unofficially, until all the announcements are made, I'll be around for the festival.
I think it might be on the website.
All right.
Yeah,
If it is,
Yeah, because he name dropped Sean McConnell the other day, and he's like, yeah, he's going to be coming to the Songwriter Festival.
perfect.
Like, wait,
Okay.
is he or not?
Relief. If it's on the website, rock and roll, that
I haven't seen the website.
can-
I saw something else.
Trust me,
confirm.
I went and double checked. That way, I knew whether to bleep out
But
who
see,
was going
this
to be
is
here or
why I
not.
don't care about going to talk to somebody. I just
Right.
I'll get in trouble eventually.
Can
somewhere.
confirm. No, so we're going to jump over October. I'll be in town and absolutely loved helping with that last year.
Yeah.
Thrilled to get to do it again. But yeah, it'll be regular. I was with the Kimball is where it's going to be held, the Kimball Cultural Event Center, and I was with Christy. And moving forward, we're looking at second Sundays.
Okay.
So 2027, we got a little star on second Sundays.
All right. I like
So
that.
are you playing in that as well?
So here's kind of how it works, man. It depends on the artist. I will play some, but
Okay.
my goal is to
Showcase.
really showcase those
Sure.
folks. Sometimes we'll have 2 or 3 people. It'll be kind of songwriter song swap style. But largely, what I want to do is kind of set the tone. My music, I'm less worried about at those shows. I'll probably open with a song or two, maybe play around here or there. The one with Walt needs no interview. He needs no introduction. So Walt and I are just doing.
I mean, I don't know. Some people might not know who Walt Wilkins is.
Man, you're gonna get me fired up. But we're gonna do a traditional song swap. That's
Right.
what Walt and I kind of agreed on, and it's gonna be a little bit loose on that structure. But my next artist, which I cannot announce yet, you got to come to the first show. So by the time this airs, you'll see the advertisement about who it is.
I mean, by the time this airs, you can go ahead and say it now. Well, I mean, this will
Pat Burns going to be with me
Okay.
in September, and love his heart, Irish folk Americana singer-songwriter. He's a stud. If
Nice.
you're unfamiliar with Pat, go check out. But make sure you take your box of Kleenexes. He will lay out. He will. But he's coming in
I can get you
September.
another tearjerker if you need.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
JD Graham in.
Get JD
I
Graham.
know
Oh,
exactly where your
gosh.
head's going.
Oh, I know JD. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so it's ongoing, and it's kind of for me, it was an opportunity to work. What the Kimball's about, being a part of arts in the community, and just wanted to get something rolling that was connecting people. I tell everybody this session is putting my friends in front of my friends. Maybe they don't know each other yet, and we're just connections.
I think that's a perfect way to go for it too.
Yeah, I like it. The only and we can talk about this later.
Yeah.
But off there. But I mean, is there an opportunity to have some of our local songwriters maybe
Yes.
get plugged in? 'Cause
Yes,
we'd love
absolutely.
to help with that, and pushing the right person. You listen to them, figure it out. But I'd love for them to at least have an opportunity to say, hey, here's another opportunity, guys, that we have somebody that's from here, done this, coming through, bringing this level that you get to potentially get to talk to.
Yeah, and that very much lines up with what I want to do. It's just kind of in my head as to be one piece of how to showcase everything going on. If my one songwriter session there is one of 10, that would make me so happy. Everybody's got a space. There's an audience for everybody.
Sure.
But I would love, absolutely. So reach out to me, Instagram, all the places. But I'd love to connect with anybody that wants to have opportunity to have their music heard. Because for me, the listening room style show, the quiet, curated, very, very low, absolutely zero conversation.
100%.
You know what I mean?
That's my style. That's
when
what I
you
like.
can see faces and eyeballs, especially right now with how much is floating around that's generated.
BS.
Yeah, thank you. It's just a joy to get to showcase another artist in that way.
That'd be great.
I love just sitting next to somebody and watching them do what they do and watching the audience go, oh my gosh.
Well, I remember last year we had, what did we do, 7 last year that we had artists play the night before Songwriters Festival. It's kind of popped in all over the place, and then Kyle was able to get them like wristbands to go to, they were huge. Like kids in a candy store.
Yeah.
Like we saw a kid that he actually opened for Keller on Friday.
Okay. Scott Allison was just, dude. He was a kid in a candy store, man.
He was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
Good.
I ended up on Colby Cooper's bus because it was raining. He's like, this was the coolest night ever.
See,
and I was just like,
you never forget that stuff.
Yeah, and he was just like, I love it, and he's like, it's like, that's great. But so
cool
with the listening room stuff. I'm gonna plug our production guy today. No bass players, right?
Oh, man. Bass players are the most important part of the band.
My own son plays bass when I do full band, so
awesome.
gotta let him roll. He's the only one on stage that's right all the time, because if he can do whatever the crap he wants, and we're all wrong. It sounds wrong when we do it. It doesn't sound wrong when he does it.
I love
Lindsay's
bass players. I got a soft spot in my heart for the bass players.
Yep.
They've all been amazing. We got a number of them that live here. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap up. You mentioned a little bit about your socials and where people can get in touch with you and find things going on. So look square down into camera number 2.
Absolutely.
And let people know what's up.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do have a website. It's brockdewaldmusic.com. It's going to have all my calendar on it. We keep a bands in town thing fully fleshed out. You can find my events on Spotify and Apple and YouTube. My Instagram, Brock DeWald Music. Facebook, Brock DeWald Music. And that's, YouTube, Brock DeWald Music.
No TikTok?
I have one.
Okay.
It's bleak out there.
So is ours.
Also, Brock DeWald Music.
Our TikTok, hold on.
Is it blowing up?
Yeah, don't.
I don't know.
Don't be hating on our TikTok yet.
I don't have TikTok, so I don't even know what we're going on.
We're going to hear music. We're going to hear something going on right now.
They tell me that is the number one platform for music exposure.
100%.
And I'm not great at it. That's on me.
That's an Adam thing. I'd stay out of that.
We're growing in followers. We don't have a ton, but we've got dozens of videos.
Awesome.
That's
dozens of videos.
That's about 11's more than I have.
Well, our goal this fall is to tap into the college kids at some point and get them to start following. And I'm sure it probably has a meteoric rise if they actually care. So that'd be great.
That's how it works out there.
If you go to follow Brock DeWald on TikTok, also follow us on TikTok. And ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up for Brock DeWald coming in here and hanging out with us.
Yeah,
go follow him on all the things. There we go. I swear I could speak today.
All that social stuff.
All the social things. So that is the BVLive.com podcast. I am Adam Drake for Brock DeWald and Jared Lane. We encourage you to go and check out all the other podcasts. We are on Spotify, we're on YouTube, and we are trying desperately to get on all the other ones. It's a little out of my expertise, but I'm trying on it. I promise you. You Apple people, I'm a Droid guy, so all you Apple people, you're just going to have to be patient with me.
It's all right. I got a beef with Apple right now.
I'm getting there, I promise. But go online right now to bvlive.com, and you can find all of the podcasts. You can find our concert calendar, which is the thing that we absolutely love, letting you know about all the shows that are coming right here throughout the Brazos Valley. And that's not just here in Bryan College Station. That's all the way down to Plantersville and Kinney and all the way up through Hearn and Caldwell. And if you've got a show and we don't know about it, please put it on our website, bvlive.com/events, and you can actually input your own show. We'll check it out, make sure it's legit. I'll hit approve, and it is right there. Also, if you're an artist in the Brazos Valley, you're one of these songwriters that we're wanting to get in for these songwriter nights, go online and become part of our artist directory. Again, it's all at bvlive.com. Check it all out right there. And we've got so many more things coming just for you, just for all the fans, for the artists, and for the venues who really believe in live music here in Bryan and College Station and the entire Brazos Valley area. So go online, check that out, bvlive.com. Oh, wait, one more time. I'm sorry, I forgot. If you are one of those businesses that would like to get involved with the live music scene, or you've got a heart for it and you say, man, I wish I had an outlet to donate $3,000 right now to live music, but where do I go? How do I do it? bvlive.com. You email me, you text me, I will give you Jared's cell phone number right now, and we will put your name, your logo, and everything right here, and it's that easy. bvlive.com. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much, and stay tuned. We've got more great episodes coming up. Guaranteed. Maybe. Probably. I think so.